Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back and checking me out again and seeing what I'm still up to. And if you haven't been here before, thank you for stopping by. And I hope you like the content that I produce on this channel for you. And if you do, press that like button. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, subscribe. And to help me with my algorithm so that I can be able to get more people to see my channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I love you for being a part of my tribe. This is Ruth Delgado and Ruth Delgado's Glamour Page, where I produce glamorized products that I make myself by hand, darling. As well as content about how I am learning how to level up in my life personally. And I'm sharing that journey with you guys. So I am hoping and praying that you guys can take this content, these story times, this information that I'm sharing with you guys, and you can use that information for yourself to help you in your life situation, in your certain circumstances that you have that you be dealing with on a regular basis where you might feel like you're by yourself. Because it's been a number of times that I may have felt like I was by myself, and I know I wasn't. But you know how sometimes, even though you know you're not by yourself, you still feel like you are. So I just, you know, put these story time content about my life um, videos out there to basically share with you guys and get you guys to understand what I didn't understand for a while is that I wasn't alone. I wasn't by myself going through all of these things. You know, I went through a lot of things in my life. Like, that's why I'm able to have all these story times. So I was like, you know what, God? Maybe that's why you allow me to go through so much craziness, because I can share it with people. And people like drama. So, hey, let me share my drama with you guys, okay? Why not? So, today's story time for this specific video is. Mm, this is a juicy one, y'all. And I hope I don't get emotional because this is like, this experience taught me so much and put me in such a complicated headspace. So, this is called That One Time I Had the Roommate from HE Double Hockey Sticks. Story time, that first time I got arrested. In other words, I had a roommate who got me arrested. Okay? It was a female. So, this gonna be interesting, y'all. I kind of wish I had a little drink to talk to y'all about this one. Woo cha. Okay, so I believe I was about like 22, 21, 22 when this happened. So, at the time, I'm gonna put this to the side. At the time, I was working. I was working as a security guard. I also was going to college. I was going to school. I was in cosmetology school at the time, and I was working as a security guard. So I was very busy. This was definitely not one of those times when I was like bored in the house and then didn't have that much to do and stuff like that. No, I was very busy. I had school, I had work, and then when I didn't have school and work, I had homework. You know, I was busy. So, keeping that in mind, I had ran into a situation where at the place, let me run that back a little bit. I've moved around quite a bit as an adult. Now, as a child, I didn't move around at all. I stayed in one place as a child. But as an adult, I moved around a number of places, a number of times, certain circumstances, certain situations. So this particular situation here, where I was in a position where I felt like I was forced to have to move. This particular situation was where I had was living at this home where I was renting a room, and I was living with two other housemates. They both were guys. And people judged me so crazy when I lived with them and I told people that I was living with two guys. They judged me so crazy, which it was like so crazy and weird because it was like, first of all, I definitely wasn't messing with neither one of them. But people always automatically assumed that just because I was living with two guys, I just so had to happen to have to be, like sexually involved with somebody. Like I wasn't at all. But anyway, that was the circumstances that I had at that time, where I was living at this place where I was paying rent, but basically the owner of the house, he was going to be moving out of town to another state. So he couldn't keep up the house. And my other housemate, who was the owner's best friend, he was going to be moving too. And he was going to be moving into his baby mom's house. So, being as though they both were moving, I kind of was forced to have to move, even though I didn't want to. And even though I didn't have to, because my job situation was fine, everything was cool, my income was fine, I had consistent income coming in, I was able to pay my rent, no problem, everything was cool. But I just had that situation kind of flopped in my lap, where the other two people that was living in the house that I was living in couldn't stay living there, and I couldn't pay for all those bills by myself. So I had to move. So around that same time frame, I had a girlfriend who I was friends with from college. I used to go to community, and she was one of the females that I had met when I first started going to community college. So was still cool with this young lady at that time. I'm gonna call her Becky. So I was talking to Becky and was real cool with Becky and hanging out with Becky around this time frame. And I had spoke to Becky one day and I said, Becky, I got an issue, girl. She was like, what's up? I said, I feel like I'm kind of like forced to have to move. And she was like, what you mean you forced to have to move? I told her, I said, listen, I got a situation where the owner of the house and his best friend that lived there, neither one of them is going to be living there anymore, and they both moving. And I'm not going to be able to take care of all them bills by myself. And she was like, dang. She was like, wow. She was like, so what you going to do? And I was like, well, I'm not sure yet. I was like, but what I was thinking about was, didn't you just say that you was about to move? Because I did remember that she mentioned that she was going to move soon. So she was like, yeah, I did say that. I said, you was serious about that? She was like, yeah, I was serious about that. I said, so you still going to move? She was like, yeah. I was like, so when you going to move? She was like, well, I'm still getting things in motion. She was like, but I'm about to move very soon. She was like, but it's not really me that is still, you know, being waited for. Is the girl that I live with. I was like, what you mean by that? She was like, well, everything is already set for me leaving. I'm just waiting for her to do what she has to do, to complete the paperwork. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so I asked, I said, well, how would you feel if I asked your old roommate about, get in your room. I said, because I don't even have time right now to even find a new place because they just like dropped this in my lap. I didn't expect this. And she was like, well, if you want to ask her, go ahead and ask her. She was like, she right there in the other room. And we was at the house. So she was like, go ahead and ask her. So because she told me to go ahead and ask her, I asked her. So I went into the other room and I asked her roommate at that time. I'm gonna call her Tiff. All right. So Tiff, the other roommate, I go in there and I say, "Hey Tiff, how you doing?" Da 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 da. She's like, "Hey, what's going on with you?" Now Tiff didn't really know me very well. Like she knew me through Becky. Other than that, Tiff didn't know me. So I had probably only seen Tiff probably about 3 times, if that. And that all those times that I saw her was through me being around Becky. So, um, I approached her like, real chill. And she was like, "What's up, girl?" And I was like, I don't mean to bother you or nothing. I was like, but I noticed that Becky is leaving and that her room gonna be empty, and I have a situation that I literally got dropped in my lap that I wasn't expecting, where my basically my landlord is leaving as well as my roommate, and I'm gonna be stuck with all the bills by myself, and I don't have all of that. I don't get paid that much from what I do for my job. And she was like, I feel you. She was like, okay. And I was like, so because of that, and me not really having no time to really find a new place that I really actually would like, I was gonna ask you, would you mind me moving here with you and being a roommate with you? I don't have no problem with paying rent. Like that's not a problem. I got a job and all of that. So, you know, I just need a spot ASAP, and I don't have the time to be looking for something to become available. So she was like, okay. She was like, well, you know what? If that's the case, it ain't no big deal to me. She was like, because, once Becky leave, ain't nobody gonna be in there anyway. She was like, but one thing that I will say though, and I was like, what's that? She was like, well, I have a girlfriend that is moving here from out of state, and I already gave her the go ahead and told her that she can move in with me. And she was like, and on top of that, she has a son and she's not going to be paying rent because she doesn't have a job yet. She's still looking for a job. So she was like, are you going to have a problem with that? And I was like, no, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I said, honestly, the only thing that I probably would have a problem with is if you were real stickler on me with the rent and you not on her. And she was like, oh no, don't pay that no mind, because she was like, when it come to me, I look at it like as long as I can work with you, we can work something out. And so I was like, okay, well then, no problem. So um, after that, I'm thinking everything is cool. Okay, great. Now I go back in the room to talk to Becky. Becky don't say anything to me about anything in the negative level or in a bad manner or anything. Now I'm gonna fast forward a little bit and tell y'all why I say that Becky ain't say nothing to me about no negative behavior or nothing that I should be looking out for, or maybe I shouldn't have asked her to be a roommate, or maybe I shouldn't be her roommate. Reason why I'm saying that is because, fast forward a little bit, I ended up having complications with this young lady, Tiff. And when I had complications with Tiff, I was very confused with Becky, because I was wondering to myself, Becky, when I came to you to speak to you about Tiff, to ask you, which I didn't have to ask you, I could have just went and asked her on my own. But I came and I asked you first because I wanted to be sure that it wasn't nothing that I was overlooking that I needed to be mindful of. Or if it was, I was thinking, Becky, you're supposed to be my friend. You should tell me. You shouldn't know, pertinent information like this is not somebody you would want to live with and not tell me. Okay. So, mind you, I will also add in there that Becky did tell me about some negative issues that she had living with her, but she did not tell me about any negative issues that was like abnormal and that was anything like what I ended up experiencing living with the girl myself. Basically, the type of things that Becky told me that she had to go through living with the girl was basically, she said one time she came home from work and she had came home with her daughter, and they go in her daughter's room, and she said that her roommates friends was all hanging out in her daughter's room, and she said she was very upset from that and stuff like that, and like maybe like wearing her clothes or something like that, like to me common roommate stuff, because I've had common roommate situations where I might be real cool with my roommate. So when I leave, if I tell her it's okay, she might hang out in my room for a little bit or something. But she know when I come home, you gotta go. But so that's why I didn't look at those stories that she told me as a big deal, because I already know by default, just by having a roommate, you're gonna have some issues. So the issues that she told me about never really seemed like anything that serious for me to worry about. So that's why I felt like when she didn't tell me anything and I went through what I went through with the young lady, I was like looking at Becky sideways, because I'm like, sis, I came to you and I asked you, should I ask her? And you told me, yeah, go ahead and ask her. I didn't ask you, should I ask her because I felt like I needed your permission. I asked you, should I ask her just in case you had some pertinent information to tell me as to, oh no, she is the worst roommate that I've ever had in my life, and she'll probably be the worst roommate you'll ever have. So you might not want to do that, sis. I'm just letting you know. If you would have told me that, I would have took note. But you did not tell me anything like that. So y'all keep that in mind. So I'm gonna go track back to where I stopped at before when I fast forwarded, because I had to give y'all that very important information. So now I'm gonna go back to her telling me that she has this girlfriend that's coming out of town. Is it gonna be a problem? No, it's not a problem. Okay, fine. So I moved in and everything was great. Like, I probably should have looked at this as a red flag, because it seems like when everything seems to be so great and so awesome and so, oh my gosh, this is so great, something might happen. And that's what happened. It was like so great. It was like, wow, like this is what I've been missing. Like, having roommates, because like I've had roommates before, but it was never that fun. Like, we hung out, we had a good time, we busted up in the crib, everything. We really had fun. And it's almost like we vibed like we were sisters or something, even though we barely knew each other like that. So, and we both was Cancer, so I felt like we was on the same type tip because we was the same sign. Our birthdays was like only a couple of days away from each other and stuff. So it was just like, it seemed like, okay, this might really work. So I thought. So a few days went by and the girlfriend came with her son. And everything was still fine. Everything's cool. Um, I had been staying there for a little while and everything was fine. Um, when the girlfriend moves in, that's when things kind of went left. That's when the things start to act funny. So the girlfriend comes that day that she came to the house. I'm gonna call the girlfriend Moni. So we got the now new roommate. Um, what I name her? Tiff. And now we have the other girlfriend roommate that's about to move in, and I'm gonna call her Moni. So now we got Tiff and Moni. I'm living with Tiff and Moni. Now, Moni's just moving in this particular day. She got her son with her. She going in and out of the house, moving her stuff in and out of the house. I'm there too. And um, I don't know this other girl. I don't know Moni. I don't know Moni at all. Like I never even seen her before. So imagine how surprised I was when Moni expressed to me. Okay, let me back up a little bit. So Moni kept coming in and out of the house, bringing her stuff in and out. One of the times when she was coming in and out, she stopped and she came to me and she said, "Hi, how you doing?" I said, "Hello." She said, "You're Ruth, right?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "How you doing? I know Tiff told me about you, that you're gonna be living here too and everything." I said, "Yeah." She told me about you too. She said, "Yeah." She's like, "But I'm a little concerned though." I said, "What you concerned about?" She said, "It seems like Tiff seems to have a little bit of an attitude and I don't know why. I'm like a little confused." And I told her, I said, "Well, I don't know why either, but I said, but I don't think you should read too much into it. I think it's probably really nothing." Like that's what I told her, because I first of all, I didn't think she had an attitude. I didn't see an attitude. I didn't sense an attitude. And I didn't even know this girl to even know what she was talking about to sense an attitude. So I was just like, it's probably nothing. So she was like, "Oh, okay, you know what, you're right. It's probably nothing." And then that was it. So we went throughout our day, and then after that day, for the next few days, it was cool. We was having fun. We was partying. We was Moni was teaching me how to belly dance. I was like, "Oh, the girl can belly roll, girl. Oh, the girl can belly roll, child." I still can't belly roll, but I could belly roll a little bit more now than then, but I still can't belly roll like she can. But we was having fun. So I was like, okay, well, it came time to pay rent. Now, I had already been here for almost 2 months. This is the second month. The first month, I already paid my rent. It's the second month. And I ended up having complications the second month only because I had issues where my job kept giving me and my other coworkers issues with keeping consistent hours. And Tiff knew about that problem because Tiff worked for the same company I worked for at the same location. We just worked two different shifts, but she worked at the same place. So she knew the problem that I was having with not getting enough work hours. So they had cut my hours back. So when they cut my hours back, of course, they cut my pay back. So I had told her, "Listen, they cut my pay on my check because they saying they ain't have enough hours for me to be able to work." So I told her, I said, "Listen, since they did that, I'm not going to have the complete amount, but I'm going to give you what I have. And then as soon as I get the other complete amount, I'm going to give you that. It's probably just going to be a week or two later." She said, "Okay, fine. Cool." So I gave her the part of the money that I did have, which was more than half of it. And I was getting the other half of the money together. But in the meantime of me getting the other half of the money together, I started noticing that she was acting funny. Let me explain. One day I came home. I had just did a double. Now, mind you, I told y'all I was actually going to work and going to school at the same time. But I also was trying to get, like I told you, I was trying to get extra hours because they kept spanning back on my hours whenever they felt like it. So every time that I could try to get me some extra hours, I tried to pull it in. So I found out I could get some extra hours. So I pulled a double one day. And of course, anybody know you do double time, you tired when you come home. You not ready to do nothing but probably collapse on your bed and go to sleep. If, take a shower, Because sometimes you be so tired you don't feel like taking a shower. So that particular day was one of them days I ain't even feel like taking no shower. I just wanted to collapse in the bed. And let me scroll back a little bit again, because it's a certain amount of information I almost forgot to share with you guys. I had, for the longest time, was waiting for my bed because I was sleeping on the floor for a while. Forgot to mention that to you guys. I was sleeping on the floor for a while because I didn't have anybody for a minute to grab my bed from my old place. So until I was able to find somebody to grab my bed from my old place, I was sleeping on the floor for a minute. So that was another reason why I really could not wait to get home, because I had just got my bed in, and I think I didn't even have my bed for no more than 3 or 4 days. So I was excited to get home because I was tired. I had finally got my bed. I know I could get in bed and I ain't had to sleep on that hard floor. So I goes in the house. Oh, la-di-da-da. Open up my door and everything. I froze, y'all. I froze and my jaw dropped and my jaw froze like it just did when I made my face up like I just did. That's probably how my face looked at the moment. I froze. Let me tell you why I froze. Tiff's brother and his girlfriend was in my bed. Thank God they weren't doing anything but sleeping. But still, they were in my bed. My bed that I just finally got in the house to be able to sleep on, that I couldn't even sleep on for a while because I couldn't get it in the house. Because I ain't had transportation to get it to the house. Y'all, I was no word. I was so done. I think my face said it all, because now, mind y'all, my faces speak a million words without me saying a daggone thing. And I believe that's what happened that day, because I didn't say nothing. I just gasped. Like, I just was like stuck. I walked in the room and I was like, huh? This what we doing? So that was one of the things that just was like, turn all the way off. For real, that was an all the way turn off. Okay. Then, as if that wasn't bad enough, that very same day that I was highly upset when I seen that. Now, I didn't say anything. I seen them. I froze. And then I turned around and I walked out. I ain't say nothing. Because I was like, if I say something, I'm probably going to say something wrong. And then I'm going to end up in trouble because they'll roof your mouth. Okay. So I said, I'm not going to say nothing. I didn't say nothing. I just looked. Like I was about to kill somebody. But I didn't say don't think. I didn't say nothing. Okay. So that very same day, okay, I'm sitting there, like I said, I told y'all, I was tired. I had just worked a double 16 hours, 2 8-hour shifts, 16 hours. I was dead tired. So I'm in my room, like any other normal person, changing my clothes so that I can go to sleep. Tell me why Tiff's sister takes it upon herself to just walk, sashay her butt right in my room. No knocking. No, my door was not open. It was shut all the way. She completely opens my door, sees me standing there. Oh, I'm sorry. And then shuts the door back. Yo, I was like, bro, what is going on around this joint? What is wrong with sis? She got her fams in my bed. Her fams walking in on me. And then what was even more like, kind of like, I really didn't like how her sister walked in on me because her sister was not straight. Her sister was gay. So I really felt uncomfortable with her sister walking in on me because if her sister was straight and she walked in on me, then hey girl, what's that? But nah, it wasn't no hey girl. It was like, why you walking in? I ain't take too kindly to that because I'm like, what is you doing? What is you doing? Why are you in my room? You know what I'm saying? So it was like, huh? But I didn't say anything. All this going on, I'm not saying nothing because I already know my mouth. And I know people always like to talk a whole bunch of crap about my mouth. So I'm not saying anything. It's a bunch going on. I'm not saying nothing. I'm like, okay, you know, I'm going to say shit. So I don't say nothing. Okay, I don't say nothing, but I'm watching this ish pile up and I'm like, bro, what is going on here? Okay. So the last straw that broke the camel's back and landed my behind bars crying. Yes, because when okay, let me wait till I get there. Let me not speed ahead. Okay. So the day comes where I was tired this day because I hadn't done a double that day, but I went to school and I went to work that day. And then I had to get right back up in a couple of hours and go back to work. No, I had to go to school. Yeah, I had to get up in a couple of hours to go to school. So I had a hectic schedule at the time. And the roommate, Tiff, she wanted to be a jerk because, all right, now mind you, I'm not saying playing loud music in the house is being a jerk because that's not being a jerk. That's just being a person that likes music. But the reason why I said she wanted to be a jerk is because of the way she kept responding to me when I kept asking her to turn her music down. So basically, she had her music blasting. It was super loud. Now, mind you, her room was literally right next door to mine. Literally, I could go straight through the door right into her room. That's how close her room was to mine. So, with the music that loud, and I'm literally trying to sleep because I literally only have a couple of hours and I had to literally get right back up, get in the shower, go to school. So, I'm like saying in my head, I don't have time for this BS today. I have way too much to do. I'm way too tired and might be a little bit of TMI. If you're a little squeamish, excuse me for this. And if you're not a female, excuse me for this. But also, my period just came on that day. So I was also a little cranky. And my cramps was kicking my butt. So I did not have time for the foolishness. I had all that stuff to do that day, and I was in pain already, and you sitting there with this music blasting in my ear. Oh no, sis. So I got myself together. Now, mind you, I told you she was already pressing my buttons with her family, sleeping in my bed, and sisters walking in my room. They sisters walking in my room like, come on, y'all doing too much. And now you got the music blasting like this a club, and I gotta go to sleep so that I can get up and go to school. And I gets up and I very respectfully and calmly explains to her that I'm very tired. I just came in from work and I gotta go to school in literally 5 hours. And I don't have time for this mess. Like, I need you to turn the music down. I had to ask her to turn the music down like 3 times, y'all. And every time I asked her to turn the music down, she had an attitude. And the last time I asked her to turn the music down, she said something about, I ain't asked you to shut up when you was talking ish about me the other day. Scared? What? This is what she says to me. I think about what she's saying. And I'm like, oh, is she talking about when I was talking on the phone the other day? Is she assuming that I was talking about her? Which I don't know whether I was or not, because it was a while ago now. But that's what she said. So I was like, oh, okay. So this bitch is just really just trying me at this point. Excuse my mouth, y'all. I'm sorry. I might get a little bit in my feelings talking about this, because this girl really was pressing my buttons, okay? Pressing like I was a computer or something. Like she was pressing them. So, the simple fact that she kept giving me attitude just let me know, like, oh my gosh, like I'm living with a crazy person that is trying to make my life more difficult, and I don't need this mess because my life is difficult enough by itself, you know. So I'm like, sis is tripping. I don't have time for this. My period just came on. Like, you can almost see the smoke coming from my head. I'm like, I don't have time for this. Okay. So I got in my bag. I said, Ruth, calm down, relax. You got to live with this girl. You want to stay calm. So just chill. So I asked her 3 different times to turn her music down. She turned it down, but never turned it down where I could sleep. So by the 4th time that I was about to go in there and tell her to turn the music down, y'all know I wasn't nice no more, right? I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Every nice person got a breaking point. Every nice person got a time when they ain't nice no more. I got to that point. Okay? I felt like, first of all, sweetheart, I've been way too nice to your butt. And you've been just stepping all over my niceness and trying to make me feel like stupid for being nice to you at this point. So, I got upset, like extremely upset, to the point where I was ready to fight the girl. Fight. I didn't say kill her. I didn't say hurt her. I didn't say murder her. I didn't say draw blood. I said fight, like fist fight, like boop, 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 fight. And that's what I approached her to do. After I've asked her 3 times to turn this music down, and she still doesn't want to turn it down low enough for me to be able to get some sleep, I approached her to fight the 4th time. I ain't gonna lie, I did. But not to hurt her, to fight her. Fist fight. Boop, 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 boop. Make black eye. You know what I mean? Whatever. That's it. Boom, boom. It's over. Old school-ish. That's what I was going for. Old school-ish. Boop, boop, boop. Obviously, this chick had a whole nother agenda. because I came out of the bedroom. She was in the kitchen. I guess that's why she didn't want to turn the music down so low, because she was all the way in the kitchen and the music was playing all the way in her bedroom, which had to play through my bedroom in order for her to hear it in the kitchen. So I suppose that's why she felt like it was necessary to play the music so loudly and keep it so loud. But anyway, so I approached her and I said, you know what? I've been really trying to be nice to you. I've been trying my darndest, and I thought that we were cool. I really did. I thought we were cool. I thought we were like vibing and everything. But I feel like you're trying me, and I don't appreciate a person that's trying me. And she gave me this crazy behind look where her eyes got all big and crazy looking. And then she had, like I said, she was in the kitchen already. And what she was doing in the kitchen, she was supposedly cooking, but the stuff that she had in the plate looked burnt. So I don't know if you really call that cooking or you call that burning. But anyway, she was in the kitchen burning, cooking, whatever. And she had a plate. She kept calling them sausages, but they look like, I don't even know what to say they look like. They just look burnt. Like, I don't know, oversized burnt coins or something. They just, they didn't look appetizing. They didn't look like nothing that nobody wanted to eat. So she was in the kitchen cooking those. And I came in there and I told her, I said, I've been trying to be nice to you. I've been trying to be cordial. I've been trying to be cool. And I thought we was cool. I thought we was vibing. I thought we was even friends. But obviously something ain't right, because the way you acting towards me is real funny. I like, it ain't cool. And I'm not appreciating it. And I said, I think you really trying me. And I ain't the fuck to be tried. Excuse my mouth again. My apologies. But when I said that, she took the plate, because she had like a ceramic plate with the sausages on it. She took that plate and she hit me in my face with it. As soon as that plate hit my head, I start fighting her. Boop, 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 boop. So I guess Moni heard Tiffany and I fighting, because she came running out of the room screaming. And then when she looked at me, she said, "Oh my gosh, Ruth, look at your face." When I heard those words, I think I saw red. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I think I saw red when I heard those words, because I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but anytime somebody has a complication with me and they try to mess up my face, I take a special offense. Like, okay, like it's a certain kind of offense you take to people when they hurt you, when they touch you, when they do something to harm you or anything like that. But I personally take a special offense to people that actually um do things that they know that wasn't cool. So where was I going with that, yo? I'm sorry. I so totally just got sidetracked just now. So she hit me in the face with the plate, right? We start fighting. Moni comes out the bedroom. Oh my gosh, Ruth, look at your face. When she said, look at your face, I run into the bathroom to look at my face. Remember I told y'all I saw red when she said, look at your face? I saw red twice, because I saw red again when I seen my face was split. Okay. Which side is it? Is this side? Y'all see this right here? That was split open. I got individual stitches. And thank God, thank you ancestors that I got good skin, that it healed up very well. But that was split open to the white meat. She hit me in the face with the plate and it cut my face open. So when I seen all that blood, that's the thing. That's the thing that originally made me go see red. Moni said, "Oh my God, Ruth, look at your face." And then I looked down at myself and I seen blood. Red. First red stripe. Then I went in the bathroom and seen red when I seen the blood. Red again. So all I know is I'm shaking right now talking about it. Y'all, that's how you know how bad this experience affected me. To this day, this happened years ago now. To this day, like, it's got my hand shaking. Like, my hand's shaking right now. But this was so crazy. So when I seen red, I seen my blood, I seen my face split open. All I know, I ran in the kitchen, grabbed a handful of something, and ran in the other room. By the time I got to her and pinned her down on the ground, I noticed what I grabbed. And y'all, I'm a little cuckoo because I grabbed a handful of knives. A handful. Not one, not two, not three, not four. A handful. I didn't go Jason on this bitch. I went Jason on this bitch times 10. Sorry about my mouth. I don't usually cuss on my videos, but this specific story, y'all, it gets to me. Y'all see, had my hand shaking. It gets to me because this girl did not have to do the nut stuff that she did to me because I did not do her dirty like that. But it is what it is because I lived and I learned. So I'm going to continue to tell the story. So I had pinned her down to the floor. I seen that I had grabbed a handful of knives and I was just like kind of stuck there for a minute because I was just like stunned at everything that was going on, stunned at what I grabbed, stunned at everything. So I had this girl pinned though, but I'm strong. So she was on that ground, she wasn't getting up. So I guess the landlord that owned the apartment building where we lived at heard the commotion from the fighting and everything because he came rushing upstairs. And by the time he came rushing upstairs, that's when I had her pinned down on the ground with the knives not even touching her. The knives was embedded in the top of a shoebox that she had because she had a bunch of shoes lined up on the floor. And the knives had got stuck in the top of the shoebox. But they still was in my hands though. I wasn't letting them go and I wasn't letting her go. I had a death grip on both. My whole body was pinning her down and then I had the knives in my hand. So she wasn't getting up and nobody was getting them knives out my hand. So Moni came in the room again. Moni coming, screaming, crying, asking me to let the knives go. I'm telling her I'm not letting nothing go. And I'm telling her to get out the room. She's trying to get the knives out of my hand. I got a death grip on it. I looked at her straight dead in the eyes. I said, "Sis, I'm too strong for you. You can't get this." She looked at me and she said, "Ruth, please, please give me the knives." I said, I'm not giving you nothing. I said, "You might as well just go ahead and do what you got to do. You take care of your son." Because her son was there. So she left the room and then the landlord came in the room. And the landlord was like, "Oh my, Ruth, please, calm down. Ruth, please just calm down." And I was like, "Oh, I'm as calm as I'm about to be." And he was like, "That's scary." He's like, "Ruth, you got a handful of knives in your hand. I'm going to need you to not be scaring me right now." he said, Ruth, I know you. He said, I watched you grow up, literally. He said, your aunt used to work for me, which she did. And I know you a good girl. He was like, this is not you. He's like, y'all friends, y'all cool. Like, this is not you. I said, she's not my friend. I said, the way she treated me, I said, she's not my friend. I said, the way she did me, she's not my friend. And I didn't know that she wasn't my friend until now. But she's not my friend. And he said, yeah, I understand that, Ruth. And I totally get that. But please give me the knives. He tried to get the knives out of my hand. And I said, I'm not moving. So he was like, listen. He said, I understand that she upset you, clearly. He said, because, Ruth, I have seen you. And I ain't never seen you like this before. So I clearly see she really upset you. He said, but you're a good girl. You got goals. You got dreams. You're very talented. Don't let this ruin your life. Okay? And I said, okay. He said, can you give me the knives, please? And I gave him the knives. And I got up. And when I got up and I went in my room to get some clothes together because I made the decision. I said to myself in my head, I said, I'm going to go get myself cleaned up as best as I can. I'm going to go around to my mother's house and try to think about this so that I won't do nothing crazy, nothing else crazy. And I went in my room. I got some clothes and some stuff together so that I can get myself cleaned up. And then I went in the bathroom to get myself cleaned up. While I'm in the bathroom, I heard some talking, some commotion, some craziness out there, but I wasn't paying it no mind because I'm like, I'm out of here. I got to get out of this house and go somewhere and think. And my mom didn't live too far from where I lived at. It's just that my mom and I's relationship was like a roller coaster. To this day, it's like a roller coaster. So because of that, that's why at the time I wasn't actually even really regularly speaking to my mom. But I was about to go to my mom's that day. That hot moment, I was about to go. And I got bang, 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 knock on the door. The bathroom door. So I'm like, what's going on? So I'm not opening the door because I'm thinking it's her. And I hear people on the other end of the door. It's a bunch of females. Like, a bunch of females at the door for. So it's a bunch of females cussing me out, calling me all kinds of names, telling me I'm jacked up and I'm effed up because I came in this girl's house and I'm causing problems. Now, mind you, I didn't cause any problems. I came in that girl's house. I was paying the rent. I didn't give no issues. I only had like $100 and something that I owed her that I was already working on getting together for her. So I wasn't making no issues at all. So I said, I'm not making issues for nobody and I'm about to be out of here soon anyway. So, and I didn't open the door. I just was talking through the door. And whoever the female was on the other end of the door was like, this my cousin and you disrespecting my goddaughter, my godsister, something. It was her cousin, godsister, somebody. But it was a number of females that was out there. And they were sitting there trying to, like, I guess, scare me or something. And my whole twist was, I'm not scared of none of y'all. Because at the end of the day, just like I can bleed, y'all can bleed. So I'm not scared of none of y'all. So I guess when she realized that her words wasn't scaring me, and I did peek out because I peeked out to let her know I'm not scared of you, because she kept saying like, oh, you scared, you don't even want to come out the bathroom, you gonna lock yourself in the bathroom, you scared. I came out the bathroom and I said, clearly, sis, I ain't scared of nobody, But I'm trying to get myself together so I can go to my mother's house and so I can get my mind straight and think about what I'm about to do next, because this is crazy and this is ridiculous and I don't like the fact that I'm living in this mess. And I shut the door back. Then in a couple of more minutes, um, wait, pause. I gotta rewind. I forgot a part. Before I went into the bathroom to fix myself up, I had ran outside to try to call the cops. But when I tried to run outside to call the cops, I was having issues getting through. Because every time I tried to call, either the call would drop or I would get through and then the call would drop in the middle of me talking. So I had given up on trying to call and talk to anybody because every time I tried to call and talk to anybody, the call would drop. So I had to put that part in there because I had forgot that part. So now fast forward and past what I've already told you guys. So the girls was trying to antagonize me. I didn't let that work. And then next thing I know, after I had slammed the door in their face from trying to antagonize me, not too long, few minutes passed by, even heavier bang this time is on the door. And this time it's police. So she done called the cops on me. So I'm like, wow, this chick really called the cops on me. She sitting there, got my face split open. She's not cut, not one bit. Her face not split open. She's not cut. She's not stabbed, nothing. I had a handful of knives. So it was no way in the world that I injured her at all because of the extent of the craziness of the weapon that I had. If I injured her at all, I would have been in jail for murder or attempted murder, because that's the extent of what I had in my hand when I went after her. Thank God, God didn't allow me to successfully do that. So, going back to the story, where did I stop at? So the cops is knocking on the door. I'm like, oh crap, here we go. So when the cops is knocking on the door, I open the door. They start asking me questions. I'm answering their questions. And then they tell me to go ahead and continue to get myself together. And I did. So I finished getting myself together. And then I went outside one more time to try to make one more phone call before I grabbed my bag and I walked to my mom's house. Why didn't I just walk straight to my mom's house right away? Well, I'm kind of glad on the low that I didn't walk straight to my mom's house right away, because it's a possibility that that girl might have had the cops try to follow me or something. So maybe it's a good thing that I didn't go straight to my mom's house, because of me not going straight to my mom's house and instead going outside to try one more time to call my mom this time instead of the cops to try to see if my mom was home. When I was on the phone, the ambulance rolled up and they saw me and they were trying to talk to me and they was trying to tell me to get into the ambulance so that they could take care of my wound, because I was outside with an open wound. Like I was, my issue was wide open to the white meat. So they were talking to me like, Miss, you literally sitting here bleeding out and I'm looking at the inside of your skin. You really need to get that stitched up. So while they're telling me that, I'm trying to make a phone call and call my mom, but the call is not going through. And then who comes up behind me? The cops. Cop come up behind me, start putting my hands behind my back and telling me that I'm under arrest because they told me that this girl told them that I tried to stab her, which I didn't, but this is what she told them. So they said because of that, they had to take me in. I said, well, do y'all not see my face? Do y'all not see that these ambulance right now and is trying to convince me to go to the doctors because this is what she did. She's not going to jail. And then they said no. They said no, she's not going to jail because you said that you wanted to kill her or something like that. They said that she said that I said. I said, okay, whatever. So they put me in a cop car and I was cool. I was talking to the cop lady because I wasn't cool, really. But I mean, I was cool as in like I wasn't crying or nothing. I wasn't really like bugging. I was just asking questions. Until I got into the holding cell. Man, when they shut that holding cell on me, I started bawling like a baby. Because I'm like, I can't believe I'm sitting here behind bars with my face split open. This girl done split my face open and got me locked up. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, soon as they shut the gate, I start bawling like a baby because I couldn't believe it. Try to make a long story a little shorter. I was locked up for about 4 days. Yeah, 4 days. That fourth day, that night, thank God, my ex had arranged to get me bailed out. He bailed me out. Him and my best friend bailed me out. And I was able to get out of jail and get myself situated. And that jacked up a lot of things for me because it made me lose my job. And it made me lose my clean record that I had for 20 something years. So I shared this story with you guys to tell you to please be mindful and please be careful of who you move in with, who you live with, and who you become friends with and become cool with. Because people don't care about how they try to push your buttons and land you in prison or land you on death row. Worst case scenario. Thank God I didn't kill that girl. Because that's the route we was going. Because when I seen my face bleeding, I felt like she was trying to kill me. I'm going to keep it a bean. So, yeah, it got dangerous. And, I realized and I learned that it's more important to make sure that where you at is peaceful, where you stay is peaceful. If it's not peaceful, you need to do the best that you can to make sure that you get peace in your home. Because if you don't have peace in your home, you don't have peace nowhere, period. I don't care who you are. And, it was just like, that was a crazy experience. That was crazy. First time I ever got arrested. I'm 22 years old. I know I wasn't no older than 23. And I'm like, dang, like I go through 20 something years of my life, never ending up getting locked up, never ending up having to even deal with cops to get locked up from a chick that hurt me. If I had any hope in the justice system before then, I really don't now. I really don't now. Because I was like, clearly, the justice system is not for the just. The justice system is for the unjust, clearly. Because I felt like, if anything, the both of us should have got arrested. And that's exactly what I told my arresting officer. And you know what my arresting officer told me? And I said, that's crazy. And she said, you know what? You're right, it is. My arresting officer told me, you know what? If y'all were gay and y'all were a couple and y'all were fighting the way y'all were fighting, then y'all both would have got arrested. But because y'all not gay and y'all not a couple and y'all was just friends and just had a spat that just got out of control, that's the only reason why you the only one that's getting arrested. I said, what? Are you kidding me? I'm the only one that got injured. I'm the only one that literally had to go to the hospital because I had to get stitches. And you mean to tell me that because she was the first one to call, because that's the other thing she said too. She also was the first one to call the cops. And I told her, I said, she wasn't the first one to call the cops. I actually was the first one to call the cops. I just couldn't get through because my phone wouldn't get through. And she said, well, because you didn't get through to the cops first, and because y'all not in a relationship, that's why y'all both didn't get arrested. Because I definitely mentioned that to the cop, that I felt like we both should have been getting arrested. I shouldn't have been getting arrested by myself. We both should have been in the back of that paddy wagon. And the simple fact that she didn't get arrested blew my mind, because I was like, how can a person really cause bodily harm? Clearly, it was clear that she was the one that caused bodily harm, because I literally was the only one that was physically bleeding from her hand. And I was the one arrested. So, yo, drop a comment in the comment section. Talk to me. Tell me what y'all think about this story time. If y'all guys like this story time, tell me, let me know. I'll bring a lot more out for you. Thank you guys for watching. I went a little bit past my time. I wanted it to just be an hour. It went to an hour and 6 minutes. So I didn't go too far past my time, but I did go a little bit over. But guys, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. If you watched all the way to the end, I love you, love you, love you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And thank you guys for being a part of my tribe. Truth Tribe for life.